Hey, good friends, it's Gwenting here, and let's have a conversation. I want to talk about a couple of things today. First off, there's thunder and lightning in the background of my video, and it sounds kind of awesome. So we're keeping it for background special effects. I've been playing a lot of Gwent. Actually, I just haven't been streaming it. I haven't had time to stream, really. I've been spending my free time doing two things. One, coming up with a new computer build, long story. And two, playing with my brothers online, which has been totally fun. I've been playing New World and Destiny 2 for anyone who's interested. And having a total riot, I think both of those games are actually in a pretty good spot and are really good for just connecting with people in your real life. Gwent really isn't. I think that's... Gwent is missing a few things. And after Open, we saw a bunch of card reveals. That's really cool, a lot of hype. That's not what I want to see in Gwent, personally. And I know this might be a little bit controversial, but I've been waiting for Golden Necker news for 8 eternities, it feels like. And last year, I know it doesn't feel like that, but it was last year that... Borza and Slama both revealed that it would be for a single-player element in the game. And I think it's desperately needed for a few reasons. One, Thronebreaker is no longer a tutorial for Gwent. They are so far different that they're really just not helpful. And two, you scare people away by PvP only. And playing those other two games has really kind of cemented that for me. Were the games with the most playership, is that even a word? Have options for both, and games that are purely PvE are also not very successful. And I really feel like that's what's needed in Gwent. And playing training mode is just not an answer to that. There's not even a timer in training mode. It's really not hard. The computer makes really dumb decisions. And I don't foresee that getting any better. Anyway, Arena is not solved. Arena is not very playable. And there are a lot of complaints right now about Ladder. About two decks, mostly, that I hear about. Meditating Mages and Scoia'tael. Oh, sorry, not Scoia'tael. Meditating Mages and Skellige. Melusine. And I want to posit a couple of things for this. So I'm going to walk you through my Mages deck, and I'm going to talk to you about, one, why it's good. And I know you've seen a lot of other Mages decks, and that's really not why you want to watch this video anyway. But two, and I think more importantly, how to beat it, and that it really is fairly beatable. And then three, how to deal with Skellige. Because I really do feel like Skellige is the elephant in the room that we're not talking about. And I posted a video last week, and a few of you have probably seen it. And I know a lot of other people have posted Melusine decks. And candidly, between you and me, Melusine is freaking fun. Melusine was my favorite deck to play before they made it really good with Fucusya and Ryogan. Fucusya and Ryogan make it broken. Fucusya needs a nerf. Ryogan needs a nerf. Fucusya really needs to be 9 provisions, not 10. The fact that she tutors Melusine is a little gross. I don't think Melusine needs a nerf. I really don't. Melusine, still only plays for 7 points. Like, you can call her out of your graveyard, but on the board, she only plays for 7. And yes, you can set up self-harm units next to her that synergize with being damaged, and there are some reverse engine mechanics to that. But on net, she's technically 7 points. And every time she casts a rain, I guess you get it on net 2 points because she damages herself by 2 and the rain spawns for 2 turns. So, over time, she's a 2-point per turn engine. But that caps out after a while, depending on how long the round plays out. And again, there's other things you can synergize with her. But I do candidly think, honestly, that she it meets provisions. I just think Fucusya needs rework. I also think that Sigadrifa's right should be 9 provisions instead of 8. I think it should go back. That way you can't just lead her into Bride of the Sea. Those are just 2 small tweaks, I think, will make it much more manageable. I don't think that Messenger of the Sea needs a cap. like great swords do. I think that was a mistake when they did that in the first place. It also engendered a lot of issues with some of like the meta breaker decks where you could just summon the great swords from your graveyard for 10 points, or use Hjalmar for 10 points on them. And I think that was a mechanic that really shouldn't have been working, in my opinion. They shouldn't be 10-point Hjalmar targets. It's just like too much incentive to dump them early in a Warriors deck. Anyway, too much analysis on Skellige. Point being, like, if you play Melusine and you play Meditating Mages, you're going to have fun. You're probably going to lose more than you expect you will. I mean, decks that have a 60% win rate are like termed broken by the community, but 60% win rate's really only 6 out of 10 games, and you're not just going to climb up ladder unimpeded. You are going to have to work for it a little bit, especially as you get into the lower ranks. But if you're climbing like I did from rank 5 to 4 to 3, it's a pretty easy breeze. So let's walk you through a fairly easy deck to use, Meditating Mages. And I'm going to walk you through a couple of options, especially that you can do in the mirror. So let's run in here. I haven't even named it. Let's call it Elephant in the Room. Just elephants. Just people are gonna be like, where's Siege Elephant? Yeah, he's not in here. The elephant in the room here are Meditating Mages, and I do think there candidly is, I think that this is a reasonable concern to have over this resilience thing. The quickest tech for this is Siegfried. Why can't I spell Siegfried? Sigurd Rifa. Oh, it's Siegfried. Okay. Anyway, Siegfried is 7 provisions, 6 points, purifies all other units. If you just play deep enough, especially if you're on red coin, just let them dump all their Meditating Mages out. It actually takes quite a bit of setup, and you'll still lose the round probably on evens. But they struggle with Point Slam. Northern Realms does really, really struggle with Point Slam. They're really not good in a short round if the Meditating Mages don't stick. And you can overcome that pretty easy. So this is like a really easy tech. If that's too expensive for you, then just use Equinox. Spring Equinox will purify all the units on a row. I don't think that that's as effective personally. You could also use Caretaker. I know a lot of Skellige decks are using Gremist. Gremist is probably one of the best because you can reset his Purify every time you play an Alchemy card, and a lot of people are playing Gedeneth with it, so you're getting a lot of Alchemy synergy. Anyway. So, a couple of things I did different in this deck than a lot of other decks that you'll see are not Dwayne Venedra. You'll see her Sentry and Spellweavers. In a mirror, Sentry and Spellweavers are the other way that you can just annihilate Meditating Mages. There's not enough removal to kill your Sentry and Spellweavers, and every time you play a rune word, it's 2 for each Sentry and Spellweaver. It's 2 charges for the Sentry and Spellweaver. 1 for the spell, 1 for the mage. And if you can spend it, like you don't need it for something else, Oniro is also a spell, so you can actually go like Oniro, Rune Word, Other Mage, bing bada boom. That's 3 charges onto your Spellweavers. And with Eateron, you can easily get up to 6. Usually I don't feel the need to get more than 4. Once you get to 4, you usually get the forfeit. So it's that in everybody's talking about Meditating Mages, but Sentry and Spellweavers are the Northern Realms removal deck we've all been waiting for. And with Rune Word, they can come out pre-shielded. Adalia can also give them shields. So, but typically you do want most of the spawn procs to be on Meditating Mages, just so you have a whole bunch of carryover. You get all those patience stacks, and then Aretuza Adept becomes like a massive Patience Doom stack. Sentry and Spellweavers are not Patience units, so you do have that drawback with them. But I got Banard students in here mostly as like fodder, And then the one thing that I think you totally could change is upgrade to Xavier over Squirrel. Couple of reasons for that. Xavier is 6 or 6. You get that 1 turn cooldown, so you can do it over and over again. He usually gets locked or removed. In my experience, so Squirrel was kind of enough. Squirrel gives you either Melusine or Ryogan or Sigurdrifos, however you want to play that. But if you had Xavier, you could kill Amphib and Oniro in the mirror. And that's usually a pretty helpful nerf against those cards. To that deck. So, but for Squirrel, I find works fine for my purposes. And then I just have a Peller just in case you get a lock on a clutch unit. It can be helpful. So must-have cards. Tesea is required for this. Donamir and Eidron are required. And then meditating, you need like 1 meditating mage. Everything else you can kind of do however you want. I do think Chapter of Wizards is really good. I don't think it's necessary. Same thing with Mushy Truffle. Mushy Truffle is really important in the Skellige matchup just to spawn that Golden Froth onto your row with all your 1-point meditating mages, just to keep them around for a little longer. But yeah, let's get in, walk you through the deck. You've probably seen it a ton. You might already even know how to play it. Just play Siegfried. Honestly, like if you're trying to play Nilfgaard right now, first off, Nilfgaard has a ton of offensive purifies. Use those. If that's not enough for you, then use some 5-point removals. Use tourney jousts. If you're complaining as Nilfgaard right now, I get it. You didn't get a lot of love, and the cards that you got, their synergy is a little awkward. I get it, but it's not like meditating mages should not be the deck that you are complaining about so much, in my opinion. Like it's solid, it's super fun to play, it's not broken. Squirrel could get some value here. Let's put one of these Banard students back. We do have Tesea. We're gonna want to get we really want Adalia here, and Eidron is what we're gonna be playing out with our Oniro. Alright, so this is where things get a little bit weird. You have to play something here first. Just go for a Spellweaver, just to give us some options. But we need to use our leader ability to grab Amphib, to grab Donamir. Rafford's Vengeance is pretty solid right now. It is random enemy, so they can't pick it, but if you're playing a bunch of mages, you can proc this over and over and over again. It works pretty well. Okay, so here we just want to go for Pincer. We're going to grab Amphib. We'll put back Squirrel. Looks like they got what they wanted without needing one of their cards. Doesn't mean they won't need it at all, but you know. And then we will... Spellweaver's helpful, but he's not as important as Eidron and the Meditating Mages, so... Then we'll probably grab a Dahlia here and put back maybe a Megascope. That's an unfortunate outcome. We really wanted that to like hit this shield or something. And now this is basically, so see, Eidron is a mage. Just trying to get this down to 5 so we can threaten boiling water here. See if we can force them to take up another shield wall. But Eidron's a mage, so you saw Spell, Mage, and then the original one here. So that's how we got 3 damage off the Spellweaver. I wouldn't blow my mind to watch these Banard students both goes to try to kill this. But I think the opponent probably wants a high stack as possible. Such bad luck. Oh well. Crap happens. Alright, so the one trick here you don't want to have to use this leader ability with Eateron, which is a little unfortunate. Just because we do need to proc one of these. But let's go for this chapter of Wizards. And we will pray for what we want, and we get it. And then it's just the last one played, so now we can proc Chapter of Wizards, Eateron will go, and then we can use Pincer Maneuver to grab a Dahlia, and then we'll just play a Megascope since we already did the spawn this turn. So you just kind of want to have only one spawn per turn, and then the next turn we'll do another Megascope. I'm guessing that this is going to be Banard soon, but it could be a Griffin. Honestly, no idea. Alright, so last one played. Easy peasy. Expect as soon as these get to 4, the opponent's going to try to murder them. We'll just try to get off as many as we can here. Ah, shoot, I totally did that wrong. I needed to grab a Dahlia then. Ugh. Crap. Alright, well. Let's just fill up this row first and then we'll worry about it. Unfortunate. Alright, we'll play Aretuza Adept. We just want the extra spawn to be a Meditating Mage. Alright, that's a good kill. We're happy about that. I think the opponent was hoping to get the random damage to proc on the Meditating Mage. Remember that you gotta play a bronze unit from your hand and then draw a card. Rafford's Vengeance order is pretty darn solid. It's an interesting choice. Alright, not one to judge. Alright, we're gonna go for Adept here. Let's go to melee because we can manage it a little bit better. She only went up by 4 because she went before Eateron or Megascope did. So that wasn't the best placement. I should have at least put her over here. Alright, we got all of our Meditatings going. So I don't feel the burn from a Dahlia nearly as much. So now the important thing here is to just trigger all of these in the same turn. That way you get the resilience. And then you just go ahead and drop Tisea down in order to refresh all of those order abilities. These guys are all going to get the vitality. So we go up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. So that's fine. We're down a card, but it's going to be alright. I'm not super concerned about it. We got to go first, so we get some options here. Aretuza Adept is probably what I want to grab with my Amphibious Assault. That or Voimir. But Aretuza Adept comes out at more points. So we'll just go ahead and go for her. Put that back. And we don't really want Squirrel here. There's a possibility the opponent plays Shawnee, but they're only getting 6 cards, so they'll only be able to use her once. Peller's an unfortunate circumstance. But we do have pincers, so we probably want to go for... I guess we could have kept Aretuza Adept. Actually would have been better than Meditating Mage, but at least we get another unit So here we're just going to grab a Dahlia. Although, you know what we can do? We can grab the Aretuza Adept. I don't need to have heartburn over this. No, I did this totally wrong. Whoops! Okay, let's just go for Voimirs, just to give these guys all some health and armor so they don't get removed. I needed to play Oniro there, not Amphib. But we should be okay. Just making some poor choices today. What'd I say? Yeah, there'd be a Shawnee 9 boost. Wow. Some commitment. Alright. Now we want the Oniro for the Adalia. Now she gets the shield. 6 for a turn. And at some point there's a delta here. She gets 1 per turn. They get the vitality 1 per turn. I think he might try to kill the Adept. Good for him. Let's go for another rune word here. Okay, these are 0, so we haven't played either of those. Shoot. I've had better. Just do her for now. I was really hoping for an Adept or a Spellweaver, like one of the two. Some massive commitment onto an on-Sace. And no tutors, just drawn it dry. Who knows what this is gonna be? Spellweaver it is. I just want her value as high as possible so she sticks and she'll be a high value engine. This is like double damage here with another one. And same kind of idea. I'm guessing the target here will be Aretuza's soon. It doesn't really matter what it is. We'll just get this one to stick. And then again, this is all the same value. It's either a point on themselves or a point on Aretuza Adept. So now this Meditating Mage is feeding this Aretuza Adept 1 point per turn. And we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other boost. So, you know, that's good value. And you get the Zeal here too. This actually might be enough. Oh, so close. They lose by 1. Wow. Wow. Anyway, like I said, totally not unbeatable. The fact that we were able to tie that and force that into 2 rounds is what kept us alive, I think. If they would have been able to get those alumni off one more time, I think that would have been pretty nuts in like a really short round 3. Lots of boost value. All the stuff you can do with those mages, and with Rafford's Vengeance, you can just pump out so many of them. I do really think Rafford's Vengeance is one of the coolest, most fun new cards. That solves a massive problem that Northern Realms has always had, which is you can only play 1 card per turn. But it is a little weird that you have a card with an order ability that lets you play an extra card. It's just kind of strange. When they fought so hard to get away from that for so long. Alright, Ursine Ritual. Wow, haven't seen that in a hot minute. Maybe Lippy? We'll see. Alright, we did draw Eidolon dry. Basically, if you miss Oniro and Eidolon, you pretty much lose. Honestly, there's not like a great way to come back from it. Put Banard student back, keep him. Alright. It's fine. Now you can grab Amphib, you can grab Chapter of Wizards. What you can't do is grab Oniro. I love the like Serpent's Eye coin. There's some great options. Typically when I go up against this one, I just drop Giga Scorpion Decoction, let it go up to 11 points, and just let it sit there. Let's go for Donomir. Expect a Gremist here. I like the idea of removable. Honestly, we should probably change these out for the adepts or whatever. What are they? Students? The female versions that boost instead of damage. Let's go for Spellweaver safe here. Well. Let's do two things. Just because Eidolon is a mage. So let's grab a Dahlia here. And we'll go ahead and put back Eritu's Adept. I don't think we are going to need her this round. We have so many other meditating mages, it just won't be an issue. And we'll just go for a Spellweaver. I strongly caution against getting the 1 point volunteer. It just clogs the board. You know. And basically the idea here against Melusine is you just wait for Spellweaver to get high enough to kill Melusine wherever she's at. Usually she's around like 8 points unless they have some kind of other booster. But given this setup, I expect her to just kind of keep proccing Rain. Blue Boy's good synergy here, especially to kill like the 1 point units. This is a weird choice. Oh, lucky draw. I really hate that. This ability is so obnoxious. Alright, well now we can just jam out a bunch of units with the Dahlia here. I like to get Mushy Truffle down first though, that way you can get your 3. This is an interesting commitment. But we'll want to boost Eidolon here anyway. So this is 1, 2, and then a Dahlia next turn will make 3. We'll use the order, boost up both these mages. If she spawns a Rain, which I expect her to, we could lose Meditating Mage, so best case it hits Donomir and Eidolon. The one time we don't have Pellet. This is a bit of a misplay faux pas in my opinion. She really wanted to drop that Rain here, I think. So I do think still at this point, Eidolon is more valuable than the 1 points later on. We just need him to stick around to keep giving us more options. And then Voimir will help give armor to all these units. We're at 3 right now. We really want to be up. You really want to have like 5. 5 is really like the threshold where you can start winning. So many locks. I don't know why he's not, or she is not spawning. Oh, he's Gascon. I always refer to their gender by whatever their avatar is. He is not playing, although it should be Melusine as the avatar. Not using this Melicine's order for some reason. Don't know why. This is a great like synergy engine, but we can go lose on evens here and it won't matter, to be honest. We just can carry over so many mages. So right now we're down to 2 mages, which is unfortunate, but we do have another Megascope coming. Get enough of these going on. And this row should be full, and we'll just put everything else behind Defender. And at this point, this row now has 5 units, so you have like a 2 in 5 chance of hitting the 1 point, which is not great. Alright, so this hasn't spawned yet, so we're going to go down 2 cards, which, you know, is usually a no-no in Gwent, but I think we'll be okay here. So much value coming out of this. Yeah, we lose this one, but so much value poured out here. Now we just really need to pray we draw into Squirrel or Oniro. That takes away the kind of like lasting staying power of Melusine. That's the entire reason we've put that in the deck. Not Peller. Okay, we did get Oniro. Let's put back Bernard Student here. And we'll take Amphib. Alright, we lost, which is terribly unfortunate. We'll see if they go for the direct play on Melusine. If so, we're kind of screwed. If not, we'll go Nero onto Squirrel just to get rid of her. Bad move. Bye-bye, 24 points in the graveyard. Yeah, you don't want to do that. I will go for reinforcements here, and then we'll, although Aretuza Adepts are the most point value off of this Amphib. Oh, I hate going down another card. Let's just get something out of here that we don't want. Probably Dwyn Venedra. Oh, we can't do that with Amphib. We'll take Bernard Student. Alright, they're all up to almost 4 points now, so we just have a lot of staying power on the board. We'll probably get rid of reinforcement. Oh no, we can use reinforcements on nope, she's not helpful anymore. Yeah, we want to get rid of this. I was thinking for an Adept, but Adept's not really all that helpful anymore because we're no longer getting all of that boost value. We do want Voimir down just for the armor. And I think this is good for us. But we don't have to drop the armor yet. Let's wait to see if they play something that spawns rain. We get spell, spell, spell. So I think Spell Weaver is the answer here. And we'll just grab. This is gonna be Oniro onto Rune Word. So we can just use this and grab like an Aretuza Adept and then immediately put her back. Start off with a lofty 42 points. We're down 4 cards now though. So Messenger of the Sea would really ruin our day. We want options here. If we really want another Spellweaver, we get it. And we'll shoot for another spell. We'll spawn a Spellweaver first, and we'll try to get another one off of this rune word. And now I get to showcase the removal value of this deck, which is actually pretty insane. Okay, so we want to spawn it first, not just so we get the guaranteed drop of what we want, but also so when we play this rune word, he gets 2 of these. And just like 7 points. She's 7 points. Yeah, let's just go for student here. She gets a shield, so she'll stick. We're only at 8 points of damage here, so we can't quite cut through this Covenant. Alright, now you drop the Oniro onto the rune word here. 1 spell, 2 spell, mage. Just like 5 points. This is 6 points. Had better, but technically this is 6 points, so we'll go for it, I guess. And typically I'd want to just kind of like save these, but I worried I'm not going to have time to click through them in time. But here we get 2 points of damage, 8, 9 total. Could be like Iris. Yeah, not that like if we hit him, he'll just heal himself back up again. Let's go Voimir here. And he's armored, so we'll just throw the boost onto him. Expect this will be like some kind of strip. That's like, the Iris is the worst thing in my opinion that we could kind of run into. So we'll just get rid of that value going forward. Now the opponent's got to make up 60 points, 61, 62 points in 4 cards, which without Melusine is probably going to be tough. Vild Carl, okay. Lots of stuff that wants to be damaged, but nothing doing the damaging. So, kind of a clunky, weird deck. But here I think you got to see just how much we were able to hit this one. How much damage we were able to deal with just 3 Sentry and Spellweavers. You could imagine with Eidolon what kind of value you could pump out. So, you know, there is... I like this deck actually because it gives you 2 options. If you're afraid you're going to run into somebody who's running removal, they'll wait for your Meditating Mages because that's the card that's triggering everyone right now. And lighting Reddit on fire despite the fact that the deck has like a 55 win rate, which is good. It's really good, but it's not amazing. And candidly, it's very, very vulnerable to removal. You saw just in the first game against a Mirror of Northern Realms. We eked that out by the skin of our teeth, and mostly because we controlled the tempo and got the draw, which, you know, yes, we counted it out, and yeah, but I didn't plan on doing that. Yeah, sheer dumb luck, to be honest, to get those exact points against the opponent who was running Rafford's Vengeance, proccing random damage. So, you know, had that 2 points killed off one of our Meditating Mages, would have been game over. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Again, if you really are just like Siegfried and Equinox are so gross, I hate them so much. Northern Realms deserves an offensive purify, I'd be like, yeah, that's true, but you're not complaining about what it's like to deal with it in the mirror, are you? Because we just almost lost in mirror to a deck that could have used some refining, I think. So, yeah, I just think outside the box, have some fun, play with it a little. And last thing I'll say, if you're just not enjoying Gwent right now, I totally get it. I took like a solid couple weeks off just not playing at all because the grind was interminable, and the way this expansion was rolled out just felt clunky, awkward, and like it was made for certain people to have fun at certain times, and for the people who didn't enjoy those archetypes made it just totally unfun. And I think that the lack of new things in Gwent, like truly new things, like new cards are new-ish, new mechanics are kind of new, but like a new game mode, a new way to experience the game, those things are desperately needed. And I really, really hope that CDPR gets this message from me or from somebody else that they need to focus on this game. That I know Cyberpunk is underwater, and I know they're trying to dig themselves out of an early grave with that, but don't lose your loyal fans that you have with Gwent. Especially with Witcher Season 2 coming out. It's a good opportunity to recruit some new people, and we need some staying power in this game, which I think requires a PvE element. It requires better introductions for new players. It requires lower learning curves for new players. And it also requires there to be a fun, positive atmosphere around the game where the players who have been around for a long time and your loyal supporters feel like you value them, their opinions, and their desires. Now, I know we don't all want the same thing, but Reddit seems to be either alight with frustration or totally silent with depression right now. And I think both of those are negative signs for what's to come for Gwent. So here's hoping this ship gets righted. Until next time, though, friends, have some fun, get out there, keep on gaming, whatever you're doing. But if you want to Gwent, keep on Gwenting. Bye for now.